Hey guys, Abe here and my beautiful wife,
Jamie.
Today we're going to be doing What Grade Is It? and with that, this weekend we went to Bakersfield Con. It's the 10th anniversary for that. And we picked up one book, and I think this is a great year to get this book, especially with the new series. But I wanted it. I've been looking for this book for a little bit, and I finally found one that I wanted. But this is Mr. Miracle #1, of course, written and drawn by Jack Kirby. And I think in this same year, Jack Kirby did. He also did the New Gods series. But before we get to that, I thought we would kind of do our story of how we got into comics. All right, go ahead with the first question.
All right. How did you get into comics?
I started in comics from actually the Disney show Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck came out in 1991. I really was not familiar with superheroes in general, but I started watching that show and I ended up really liking Darkwing Duck. But I think that it premiered before Batman the Animated Series. So how I got in was Darkwing Duck had a lot of resemblance to Batman the Animated Series, and Batman the Animated Series came out in 1992, and so I started watching it, and when I started watching it, I was recording them also, so I'd run home after school, get my VHS tape ready, and I'd put it in to the TV, and at that point, I would record it so that I could have them and rewatch them because they came on so infrequently that I couldn't watch them every day. And I believe here in town, Batman the Animated Series came on Fox.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that I started watching around the same time was X-Men the Animated Series. And that's when I really found out that I had love for superheroes. Like most kids at that time, I think a lot of boys collected baseball cards. So I had baseball cards, but I think I was going to Albertsons at that time and picking up baseball cards. And then one of my friends told me that there was a card shop in town. And we went to that card shop, and at that same time, within the first year that we were going to that card shop and collecting baseball cards, they ended up opening in the back of the store, opening up a small section for comic books, and that's how I first started picking up Amazing Spider-Man comics at that time. And then this is really funny. My mom would give me allowance and my brother allowance, so I would take my brother with me so that I could get more comics. So I ended up buying the Amazing Spider-Man, and then I had him get X-Men so that I could get the best of both worlds. I think I fell in love with Marvel, really fell in love with Marvel at that time, because Batman seemed so much like an adult character, and I wasn't really ready for that. Where the X-Men, I knew they were teenagers, and I knew that I kind of wanted to get the comics based off of that. So, how'd you end up actually reading comics?
Well, actually, you got me into comics. I didn't start reading comics until we were dating, but kind of like you, I fell in love with the superhero characters watching Justice League.
So was it Justice League or Justice League Unlimited?
Justice League. I did not like Unlimited.
Okay.
I didn't like the characters. It was different, but
I think it was more of a bigger universe. So I never really watched Justice League. I kind of stopped.
I've seen every episode.
That's really sad for me that you've seen that and I haven't.
And that's why we argue of what race Green Lantern is supposed to be.
Race?
Yeah, I go based off of what the Justice League was.
Like who is the true Green Lantern? Okay. Go ahead with the second question.
Okay, what's your or who's your favorite superhero?
Well, when I really got back into collecting comics, I really liked Spider-Man. And I started with Ultimate Spider-Man, but eventually started getting back into the Amazing Spider-Man. So for the longest time, I only collected 2 comic books, which was Spawn and the Amazing Spider-Man at that time. And you?
Well, of course, I have to go with Wonder Woman. I do remember as a kid seeing reruns of the TV show.
The Linda Carter?
Mm-hmm. But of course, they were reruns.
Yeah.
And I knew from watching that was definitely going to be my favorite superhero, and it's all about girl power. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's switch it up to your favorite comic book character. Like, not a superhero, out of the whole...
Oh, you're asking me my comic book character?
Yeah, so... I mean, you could go with superhero again if you want to, but I have something different.
I don't really have... Now that I've read so many comics, I don't really have a favorite comic book character. I just read quite a bit now. So,
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
You?
mine will have to be Pearl Jones from American Vampire. That was one of the series that I got into a few series before that, but after that one, I knew that I was definitely a comic book fan.
Now, was that your first comic book that you read, was American Vampire?
Well, that's what's hard to remember, is that I remember first. So we dated since 2003, got married in 2007, and in between that, you made me read Hush. But I liked it a lot. Like, I really did. But I never read anything else. It was just Hush, and that was it. And I liked it, but... And then came The Walking Dead. And I guess we won't get into that story just yet.
No, we'll do that story
There's a
another
pretty good
time.
story behind that one.
Yeah.
And then it was American Vampire. And I just fell in love with that character. All the characters, really. But it was really Pearl that stuck with me, so...
Yeah. Okay, and for the reason we're really here is
The Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics.
alright, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do based off of this comic that we got, which was, of course, like I said, from 1971. I thought it'd be fun to actually look at the comic and then from there give our grade of what we think it is. So I had her look through the book
and I've never tried to grade a comic before, so.
and actually see what some of the descriptions say. But let me see. I'm gonna walk up to the camera and I'm just gonna show kind of what this looks like. So this is the Mr. Miracle that we ended up buying. And so with that, we both looked at the book and the grade that you think it is.
We haven't told each other what we thought the grade was yet. We thought it'd be fun to so should we just go like on 3?
On 3, or do you want to do one by one?
No, I think we should say it out loud at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
7.
6.5.
Okay.
6.5.
So what I thought would also be fun is I think I'm going to send this off to CGC and get it graded and then see what it actually comes back at.
And who wins?
We're not professional graders at all. But, and like I said, I don't really buy too many older books if they're not graded, but I thought I'd give this one a try. Some of the things that I'm not sure about, there's a slight, it looked like the page was bent over at one time. There's a little bit of discolorization right there.
The pages are like yellow.
Oh, well, and then the page color.
They're dog teeth yellow.
I had to show her the owl guide on what the colors actually mean, and it's not actually yellow.
It's yellow.
It was considered off-white to white. Or I think the page is actually off-white. And then the other thing is the staples, of course, since this is such an older comic, they almost look black, or, the discolorization from it. And then on the back side, I'm not going to take it out, but on the back side, there is, looks like someone had some blue ink on their finger, and there's actual fingerprint on the back side. and it's a little bit dirty on the backside, but I still think it's a higher grade. I meant it actually displays very beautifully.
The front's very nice.
Yeah,
That's one thing that threw me off was the pages, and so that's why I said it was a 6.5.
but we'll see what we get. So thanks for watching.
Subscribe and like,
Oh
please.
yeah. I always forget to say that. But also let us know if you like the video. And Abe and
Jamie,
bye.
bye.